All right, so I've handed in my resume. My cover letter's all nice and smick. I've been called for an interview. How do I think about this interview? What's my mindset? What's going on?
So interviews are really, if you think about the term, they are assessments. They're an assessment. They're assessing you as a person, as an individual, to see how you fit for that role, for that company, etc. Hence why people will say, when they give you a resume, they give you a person that looks great on paper and go, look, I highly recommend you hire that person. Always, probably 100% of the time, I'm pretty sure it's 100% of the time, I would like to meet or talk to that person before I hire them, right? That's the typical answer. And that's because they still want to assess you and make sure that you are as good as you are on paper, etc., or as good as you are as a recommendation. Mm-hmm. And that's how the human brain works. So think of it as an assessment. And this is where a lot of people, when they go to an interview, they don't think of it as an assessment. Because if you think about assessments, what is the typical thing when you going for an assessment? When you're going for a test?
Be stressed, anxious, nervous.
Yeah, but what do you do beforehand for any assessment or
study
test?
hard, I guess.
You got to study and practice. So how often do you? So you know that you got to study, and if you know you've got an assessment, you got to study. If you know that let's say that you're an actor, and that you've got to be doing you're going to be be selected for an acting role potentially for a film. What do you do before that?
Yeah, that's true. You do your research.
You practice your ass off, right?
And if you do your study, you're going to be a lot more confident. You're not going to be nervous or anxious
or
negative about it. Yeah. Sometimes you get excited, actually, if you're really prepared for something, I feel.
Exactly right. But you got to practice your ass off because, you can't be nervous when you go there. When you go for an interview or when you're going for like one of those acting jobs, you got to be super prepared and know your lines, know what to say, how to say it, etc., and all that. So in everything in life, when you're going for some sort of test and assessment, you need to practice. Now, what happens is when people go for an interview, they don't practice, or there isn't actually any platform for them to practice on. And most of the time, they don't actually know what to practice on. So that's where a lot of people fail. It's not because they don't have the right experience, the right qualifications, the right skills, the right attitude, etc. It's because they haven't practiced.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so approach interviews as if you're going for an assessment, where you're going for some sort of exam, because it is.
Yeah, I do definitely think it would be valuable to get a coach for that type of stuff, because if you jump online and Google it, there's just 1,000 websites with 1,000 different pieces of advice from 1,000 different people. So getting someone that could comprehensively bring it together and sort of deliver it to you would be, in my opinion, a lot better.
Yep, exactly right. So you get practice for anything beforehand. You'll ask someone to teach you how to do it, or you'll ask someone, can you work with me on this? So for interviews, exactly the same thing.
Find yourself a good coach.
Yeah, exactly right.